Thank you very much, Sujay. Can people hear me in the back? Terrific. Well, let me just say, I'm not wearing my hat because I want to take my hat off to all of you. What you guys have accomplished in the last 4 or 5 years is nothing short of remarkable. Plus, I get hat head. So, I didn't think about the program until I got here, but I just realized that Matthew went before me, and he was much more articulate than I am going to be. He's accomplished more in his first 22 years than I have in 52, so this is a tough act to follow. So a few months ago, Dean Lou asked me to speak at commencement, and I was thinking about what I should say, and I was thinking about my own commencement and who the speaker was. And in fact, I couldn't remember. I didn't remember a single thing that the speaker said. So I asked Jane Anderson and Jasmine Payne, who've been terrific in facilitating everything, can you send me a program from 1991, trying to bring back memories? And it was still a blank. And so, what did that reveal to me? Which is that you're not gonna remember what I'm gonna say. So the expectations are low. What you will remember is all your time at Berkeley. This is what I remember sitting in your seats. I remember all the countless problem sets, the quizzes I failed, the tests, Top Dog runs, Blondie's pizza runs, binging on donuts because I couldn't figure out a CS lab. That's what I remember. I remember the friends I made, and I remember being apprehensive about my first job, but excited to leave at the same time. That's what I think all of you are gonna remember as well. So then, a few weeks ago, I got together with a few friends of mine who were all EECS majors with me. They actually all went to high school with me, and these are some of my best friends in life. And I said, hey guys, I'm gonna give the commencement speech, need some advice from you on what I should say. So the first one said, you're giving the commencement speech? Do they know you were a mediocre student? And the second buddy said, do they know you went into finance, the dark side? And the third one said, do they know you went to business school at Stanford? So the fourth one's like, wow, this is like the holy trinity of no-nos for a Cal engineer. It was like saying, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? So, but nonetheless, I got asked to do this, so you're stuck with me. But I want to tell you a little story. So I moved here from Calcutta, India when I was 8.5 years old. My parents are actually both in the audience. My mom and dad are here. So my mom and dad were actually both electrical engineers, so I didn't really have a career choice. If you're an Indian boy growing up in the 70s and your mom and dad are engineers, you're going to be an engineer. So, but you know, we lived a great middle class life in India. My dad had 8 brothers and sisters. My mom had 7. They were very happy. But middle class in India in the 70s meant no running water, it meant electricity 30% of the time, and it meant no toilets. But my parents were happy, but they wanted better lives for my sister and me, so they decided to move and uproot their whole lives because they thought education can inflect their people's fortunes. The fact I'm here today is a testament to what education can do, and I want you all to take a moment and pause and think about your parents and your family members who got you here, and please give a round of applause to everyone who got you here. Thank you, parents, and thank you to my parents as well. So I then asked my 3 daughters, I have 3 daughters who are 23, 20, and 17. I said, what should I say at commencement? They're like, they roll their eyes. That's a usual thing with my kids. They'll give them the TLDR. I'm like, what is that? So I looked up what TLDR is. I said, like, keep it short and sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet, and I know you guys are all baking in the sun as well. So I have 4 things I want you to take away, and I know you won't remember this, but just in the off chance that you, because mine wasn't recorded and this one will be recorded, I want you to remember 4 things. 1 is if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. 2 is don't question yourself. Don't ask why not. I'm gonna talk about each of these in a second. 3rd is you will face adversity and you need to hit that head on. And last is take chances. So let me go through each of these very quickly. The first is, when you think about, so I've been very fortunate. Today I run a firm that has $45 billion under management. I've had the chance to meet the tech literati, all the people you read about in the newspaper. These are the people who run famous tech companies, famous finance companies, lots of billionaires and millionaires. Some of the smartest people in the world. But the smartest people in the world I've ever met is in the Cal engineering department. The faculty, the TAs, the students. There is nobody that's smarter. Never question that you have what it takes. If you can do it here, you can do anything. Never question yourself. The second thing I talked about, education inflecting people's lives. The University of California system is literally the beacon of hope for thousands of people. It's the school that gets applied to most in the entire world. Within the UC system, Cal is the castle on the hill, and within Cal, engineering is the absolute apex. You guys are the Navy SEALs. By the way, my wife was a political science major, and she said, you engineers are arrogant. It's because we're smarter. I hope she doesn't listen to that. But Cal engineers, I mean, this is an amazing list I asked. They have started or run companies such as Apple, Google, Intel, Qualcomm, VMware, SanDisk, Micron, Network Appliance, Allbirds, Warby Parker, Barracuda, Activision, Marvell. The list goes on and on. So every time when you think of yourself, I want one of you or many of you to start those companies and change the world. Always say, why not you? This is within all of you and you guys can do it. So that's my second message. The third message, and Matthew talked about this, is the world is a scary place today. So if you look at the world today, I think we're about to hit a recession. Unemployment is low, but inflation is high. Our political system is dysfunctional. Supreme Court, which was once the most revered place in the land, has now become political. We have wars going on, and the wealth disparity is the greatest it's been in multiple hundred years. That usually leads to revolutions. I point this out because although times are good when you're graduating, you will face adversity. I started my firm in 1999 to a lot of fanfare. We raised $2 billion, and then we proceeded to lose $500 million on 2 of our first 3 deals. By the way, I wouldn't recommend that. It's not a good way to start. In 2005, when we tried to raise Fund 2, I circled around the world for 2 years trying to raise money and got turned down 955 times. But 50 people gave us a chance, and those 50 people who gave us a chance, and today we're up to $45 billion under management. I walk you through that story because you will face adversity, and the way to take adversity is to take it head on and not shirk from it. It's the old adage, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And the final message I have for you is you have to take chances in life. So 2 of my proudest moments at Berkeley were winning the intramural softball championship. I still have my shirt. It doesn't fit me anymore, but I still have it. And winning the 6 foot and under basketball championship, 3-on-3. But I played sports my whole life, tennis and basketball and soccer, and I still play basketball and tennis today. There's an adage in soccer, which is the great strikers convert the opportunities that are. If you look at Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, they get 1 or 2 opportunities and they convert them and they seek them. Go seek those opportunities. The worst thing that can ever happen is you're back to status quo. But if you don't, it's Michael Jordan, who's the greatest basketball player of all time, once famously said, you can't make a shot you don't take. So take shots, because the worst thing that happens is you're back to where you were. So please take those shots. So as I reflect on my time at Cal, this school has a special place in my heart. It's where I met my wife, as Dean Liu said. My sister went here, my brother-in-law went here. My brother-in-law was actually the CFO of the business school. I have 2 nieces going here, one just graduated on Saturday. You can leave Cal, but Cal will never leave you. That's what you should always remember. And I talked to one of my friends from high school just this morning on my way down, and he said, have you prepared your commencement speech? I said, I'm thinking about it still. He said, you should ask your sister or your wife. They're much better writers than you are. And it's true, my wife's a law professor, my sister's a partner at a law firm. But I said, no, I'm gonna wing it. He's like, that's not a good idea. But I'm an engineer. I never took an English class, so I know the standard. The bar is low. But I want to leave you guys with this thought, which is just remember, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You're the apex predator. You're the Tyrannosaurus Rex within the UC system. Face adversity head on and take chances. Go Bears and congratulations.
Thank you so much, DJ, for those inspiring words of wisdom.